Namaste, everyone. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Now, make sure you hit that red button down there that says subscribed to get these weekly content and videos and events and so on. Now, make sure that you're tuning in on Friday, November the 29th at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 2 p.m. Eastern if you'd like to have a free clairvoyant psychic reading by me. I'm going live every month for those of you who are tuned into my channel and giving some free readings. How many of you are going to be there? I am. What about you? So don't forget to set your dials and your clocks and your schedules if you want to catch a reading by me. I'm live right here on YouTube. So I'm on Instagram, Jeni Ji Cousins. I'm all over social media. So best place to follow me is subscribing to my channel right here. And, follow on Instagram. I'll follow you right back. And then that way you're going to get more notifications as well. Now, this week's Cosmic Vibes from the 15th to the 22nd, we are starting this off with the super duper full moon in Taurus. Now, this moon is all about expect the unexpected. I'm just saying, this is a really, really important day to whatever you have going on and planned to not make adjustments to it. Like I have something specific on the 15th that I have to attend to, and I'm not going to be like, you know what, rescheduling it or no. It's a really important day to follow through because that energy of the day on the 15th can be lasting for quite some time. Now, there's different signs, of course, that gets more affected than the others during full moon. I mean, we all get affected in our own way, of course. And because this is a super full moon, I always say super duper because it's kind of like double the power. Horse energy, wanting stability, wanting to be grounded more. However, if you're a Taurus, Pisces, or Scorpio, you very well could be a lot more affected by this moon. So, I mean, I'm very sensitive and empathic and such. So, you have probably noticed that your sleep has been a little bit off, and this energy will take forth, for even a couple, 2 or 3 days, even past this date. I'm making some major endings on the 15th and the 16th myself personally. So really pay attention to the themes that day that really happen to you. There's a lot of karmic rewards coming during this time, and you're really going to really see where you are. You're going to find that you're going to be wanting to set more stronger boundaries during this full moon. It's not a time to have surgery. I mean, if we have to have surgery, we have to have, like surgery. You're going to be healing from past wounds and past situations as well. And you're going to find that you're really going to get pushed outside of your comfort zone during this full moon. So pay attention to what is coming up. Some of you already know, okay, what's going on the 15th, or even the 16th, like what's going on, with my days. And whenever there's that expect the unexpected, you don't know what to expect, right? Whenever there's that expect the unexpected, I'm like, okay, all right, spirit, be gentle with me. I'm open to really positive changes or beautiful new beginnings and so on and so on and so on. So it's all about how you think about it. It's the time that you're taking your power back this week as well. You're really going to be grounding yourself in your authentic power this week. You really are. Look at where you are. You're going to really be seeing that, like more so this week. You're going to be really honoring your soul's journey and really staying true to yourself even more this week. Every week, every day, you really can make changes. Changes can come at any given second that you're ready to embrace it. For those of you who knew I've moved, yay, got the keys on the first, and I've been moving in every single day carloads every single day, going home, packing, working, and so on and so on and so on, until I hurt myself. If you could see my body, I'm covered in bruises, right? But we all go through that when we're moving. So the movers had came and went on the 11th, very grateful. And now I'm getting a lot more organized and so on and so on. Truly grateful for all the new beginnings. And even this week, you guys, you're going to understand why divine timing happened the way it did even more. You would have start seeing that in November, the 1st of November, and so on and so on. But you're really, really going to see it even more. Yes. You're going to find that you're going to be saying no, setting boundaries even stronger, even no. There's people that will try to, like utilize things or take you for granted. Like what you allow will continue. I've already had to say no twice very firmly this week myself about no, that is not going to happen. No, you cannot do that. So what you allow will continue. So just really, really keep that in mind. You're going to really be more in tune with your soul. That's your inner GPS. That's your gut instinct. That's your like angels and guides and your soul talking to you and guiding you. You've been healing past traumatic situations. You've been healing through those childhood wounds. You've been healing through circumstances throughout this entire year. We still have Chiron energy that goes towards the end of this year too. So really pay attention to what comes up, that what truly, truly, truly needs to, heal. Don't push it down. Don't ignore it. You're going to find the 16th and the 17th, you're going to be resolving more issues. I mean, we are in that pre-Mercury retrograde shadow. Pre-Mercury shadow can be harder than the actual retrograde. So pre-Mercury technical issues, electronical issues, people coming back from your past, travel delays, things going all wonky, wires getting crossed, lost messages. So whenever you're sending messages, make sure you're sending it to the right person. Make sure you review that message. And even then, I've had people say, Jeni, I sent you a message. I'm like, I didn't get it, right? Like, and then I'm like, okay, let me look at my junk folder, my spam folder, let me, and sometimes it just eventually turns up. So it's like what you guys need to repair, do it now before this Mercury retrograde starts on the 25th to the 16th of December. So it's really important to get signed what documents needs to get signed now before the actual Mercury retrograde. You don't want to be signing any huge contracts or making any large purchases during Mercury retrograde. So whatever you need to do, get it done now. I'm just saying. That's why I work with these energies. And I'm like, oh my God, Jeni, got to slow down. No, because I want to get all this stuff done, certain things that I have to deal with, like huge major things happen to me all at once. Like, oh my God. I'm like, what? However, I'm like, you know what? I got to deal with this now. I got to resolve this now before. That's why I do these Cosmic Vibes videos too. Now we are moving into Sagittarius season, 21st of November. So happy birthday to my fellow Sagittarians. Birthday season coming up and so on and so on, right? You should celebrate yourself every day. We are alive, right? There's so many people that, suddenly passed and so on and so on. You should be, never ever taking anybody for granted whatsoever. You are going to be taking your power back even more and more and more, as I mentioned this week. Okay. And, the truth exposed. Well, that's going to continue on and on and on, but you're going to see that even more. You're really, really, really going to see that even more. You're going to find that even on the 18th and the 19th, you're going to be making these adjustments. You're going to be looking at, okay, what is my priority right now? Like what, we always have stuff we have to do. I make short-term goals, long-term goals. However, it's like, okay, what's the priority that needs to be done today? I mean, you will know what the priority is for you. It's like, okay, my priority today is I have to deal with this. I can't leave it anymore, because if you do, boom, it's going to explode during Mercury retrograde. Pluto right now, energy we have, which is very, very powerful. So you're going to find that, whenever I have to make changes with something, let's say, like Pluto is really shaking this up on the 18th and the 19th, especially, and so on and so on. It's like, okay, what changes do I have to make? You're going to find that if it's like a behavior, if it's like a habit, it's like, I really got to change my routines. I really have to change the way I behave. I really have to change, like whatever it is, right? You personally know what it is. When you are listening to your heart, you're going to hear what it is. If you're listening to your ego, you're just going to ignore it and you're not going to see anything. And then you're going to be by yourself and you're going to be wondering, okay, like, what's going on? Like, it's really important to see what you really need to adjust. Do this now. Do it now. Because when you start listening to your heart, you are going to see even more so between the 20th and the 22nd of this month, how your heart's going to start to open up more. You're going to be feeling, you know what? I got to start slowing down, because as we go into Mercury retrograde, it's a season to slow down. It's like, okay, I've gotten what I needed to get done on these priorities, as I mentioned on these dates. What was your priorities? Let's get that going. Let's get that done. Let's get that out of the way. Let's start that. Let's end that. Like if it's a relationship, if it's a job, if it's where you're living, if it's a habit, like whatever it is, you could be like, oh, I need to slow down. Like I've been on the go every day and I'm packing like a wildfire, because I don't like banging into things and tripping over boxes myself. And, I'm a really organized person. So when I'm disorganized, I'm like, you know what? I got to push myself to clear out this space and get things up. I hung up like some really big pictures and paintings I have a lot of art that's heavy. Actually, when the movers came on the 11th, you know, I had a little bit of things unpacked because I've been moving in here every day. And I'm like, okay, you guys, I have a really huge Buddha statue. It's over 5 feet tall. And I have a little stand for it. And I'm like, okay, can you guys, like, I'll unwrap my Buddha, but can you help me take it out of I have a specific box for it. It's really big because it's over 5 feet tall. And I'm like, can you please help me take my Buddha at least out of the box, because I want him right there. Yeah, sure, Jenny. They're awesome. Thank you, Jeff and Jay. You guys were awesome. Very grateful. So that's the first thing I actually put up. For those of you who've seen my place, I have a lot of statues and art and such like that. That's just me, right? That's just myself. But you're going to find that you're going to want to be more settled in yourself. So this is why it's really important to utilize these energies, because if we leave certain things, it can be harder on other days and more challenging. I mean, have we not had enough of the bullshit and the challenges and the restrictions and the limitations and this or that? We've all had enough of this stuff by these so-called leaders, God. So this is a week, you guys, where you're going to be taking your authentic power back even more. Just stay true to who you are. Like, just stay true to who you are. Why be somebody you're not? Right? Seriously. So these planets affect our animals. These planets affect different areas and parts in our bodies at different days. Like my body, oh my God, from the moving, like I said, I got bruises all over me and like scrapes and cuts, ripped my arm open. If I went to the doctor, they'd be like, what happened to you? Like, I'd be just like, well, we all know what moving is like, right? And a big shout out to my best friend Tammy. She helped me bring over a couple of loads, very grateful, in her car, you know. Very grateful for that. So even when the movers came in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you got quite a bit lot over here." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was every day loading my car to the max, back and forth, and until I hurt myself, couldn't move anymore." And you know, so anyways, anyways, I'm just saying. Now on the 15th of the 22nd, like our bodies get affected. So you might even find the 16th and the 17th, your shoulders and your arms and your hands. You might be like, you know what, maybe I better give myself like a manicure or get some really nice hand lotion and put it on, get my nails done or some creams or like whatever it is, right? Because it's more sensitive. You might even find between the 18th and the 20th, your stomach and your digestive area kind of goes off a little bit. And it affects your animals too. Have you ever noticed, right? Like I saw this in all my animals that, if I had like earwax built up, just for an example, my dogs, they'd have earwax built up. You ever find that, oh, like my shoulder is a little off? Have you ever noticed that your animals will go right to your shoulder, or if you've, like bumped your arm or something, they will go right there and start licking it because they can see that in you. They want to love you. They want to like embrace their love and make sure you embrace your love right back to them. The 21st to 22nd, it does affect the blood, could be like heart palpitations, blood pressure, blood issues related and such like that. So just be really, 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 really gentle with yourself. You guys have really seen, and you will see even more, just how far you've transcended this week, how far you've really grown. Really look back these past few months, past especially 5 or 6 months, like what did you work through? Like what did you know that was coming subconsciously that you had to deal with that you have actually now dealt with? Fear can hold us back. Fear can be like, oh my God, I have to do this, or I have to change that, or I have to end that and such. And it's so easy to go into that fear modality. We all do. However, when we face our fears, we realize that, what, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Because whenever we go into fear, that's connected with stress. And if we ignore it, it's like riding on the hamster wheel. Nothing changes. The only way you're going to see any changes in your life is to make change happen. That's it. Yeah, but I gotta, like, I gotta wait on my friend, or I gotta wait on my family, or I gotta wait on this. What, like, why are you putting your life on hold? Yeah, there's certain people we have to depend on. I get that. However, if you really want something, you go out and grab it. You go out and you grab it and you make it happen. That's the power with intention. You are the only person that can change your destiny. You can change your destiny at any time. I've done it so many times myself because I see certain things coming up, new opportunities coming up, and I'm like, I could go that direction. I could make that change and go this way. However, then I'll stop and I'll read into the energy and the vibrational frequency of it, and I'm like, I think I'm going to pass on that. It does take me back to another lifetime. I do past life akashic records also, by the way. So I've seen my other lifetimes and everything, and I'm like, I can see all of these things, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just kind of pass that right now. Maybe I'll get back to it if I'm ready, or maybe I won't. However, I've said no to this person and that opportunity and this right now because I just don't want to go that direction anymore. I just don't. Right? I'm just more drawn into focusing on certain things. So go by your own comfort zone. I've had people say, yeah, but I have a vision of that. Yeah, of course. We can get shown things, your dreams, your ancestors, your guides, your loved ones, come into our dreams to give us messages, especially pay attention to your dreams, your vivid dreams. I've been talking about that, what was shown to you. And it can leave you a little confused as well. Yeah, but Jenny, I was shown I was going to do this and that. That's awesome. However, does that feel right to you? No, but I was shown that. Yes, you were shown that to pay attention to you to that, to this, to whatever it was. You have the freedom to say either yes or no. Does this mean I have to go this direction because I've met my soulmate, but I don't know, it's just not working. When you meet somebody you're attracted to and have a connection with, it doesn't mean they're your soulmate. That's why I do past life akashic records to give you guys clarity as well. It's that clairvoyance that I give you all my insights on your situation and that person, who they were, why they're here. And then it's up to you to make that decision of, does this feel right for me to walk this way or to make that decision? Or you know what? I'm seeing red flags. Pay attention to those red flags. We have people coming back from our past right now and into Mercury retrograde. Just because people are coming back from your past doesn't mean you have to get reconnected with them at all. So really pay attention. Really pay attention to that. People coming back. I have people coming back. Hey, how's it going? Yes, let's catch up. Let's have a coffee. Let's whatever. Absolutely. Or you could have exes coming back and you're like, oh hell no. Or you can be like, yeah, wow, maybe it's time now. So there's so many different reasons, and you have to go by what feels right to you. Nobody can ever judge your path, ever. If people start judging you, do you want them in your life? Is that your person? Is that your friend? Is that your soul tribe? Is it? This is me. I'm not going to change who I am to make other people happy or to make other people. No, this is me. You will find the right people will accept you unconditionally for who you are, regardless. Right? We all have our good and bad days. Of course, that's life. So, anyways, I'm just saying, tune in for a clairvoyant reading. That's coming up here. I'm just saying the 29th, right? And then we also have Thanksgiving on the 28th for my US friends. Gobble, gobble, gobble. So some of you could be making travel arrangements, of course, to go, friends and family, and even starting preparations and such like that too. I mean, one thing I really like about holidays is I love that movie. I love John Candy, the actor, and I love that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's one of my favorite movies, and I watch it. I've seen it like 100 times. And that actually reminded me when I was going to Ireland, when I have to share this with y'all. I was going to Ireland, and the plane, like there is this huge storm. Like I'm like, oh my God. So, anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm like, and it was like 3 seats, and I was there by myself, and I'm like, okay. And then there was this guy that seriously, he looked like John Candy, for those of you who know John Candy. And he was from Ireland. And I'm like, oh, this guy could be fun, right? So he says, no, don't worry, I'll take the aisle seat. And I'm like, you know what? I'm so tired. I was layover in New York, which was awesome, by the way. That's another story. But so I said, no, I'll just sleep by the window, right? I said, I'm just really tired. So, anyways, he's like, yeah, cool, no problem. He sat in the aisle seat, the middle seat. There was nobody there. I was by the window. And then I'm like, okay, let me just kind of read a magazine that was in the little plain pocket or whatever, or a newspaper. No, it was a newspaper. And I'm looking at this political person or somebody from Ireland. And I'm like, oh, and me and John Candy would just call him John. We're just like, yeah, it's going to be a good ride over. It's really bumpy right now, really stormy hurricane type thing going on. And I'm like, I'm not worried. I'm really tired. And I'm looking at this newspaper clip, seriously, with this guy on there. I'm not like, oh, I'm not liking his energy. Oh, sure enough, the guy that was in the newspaper, here he comes. And he's looking at his ticket and he's looking above. And I'm like, no, 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 no. He was sitting in the aisle seat. So John Candy had to sit right beside me. And this political person, whoever he was, I don't connect with politics, don't get me started, sat in the aisle seat. John Candy looks at me and I'm like, I was squished like right up against the window, right? And I'm like, oh my God. Like seriously, like I had no room. So, anyways, and I'm like, oh dear God. So then we get our food order or whatever. Like He pops the tray down, John Candy, and he opens something, went everywhere. Like, oh my God. I could go on and on and on and on and on, but I won't, right? Like, he was one of the funnest guys if it wasn't for him. Like, it was literally a planes, trains, and automobiles flight there. And even when my ex at the time picked me up, oh my God, like just from the airport to where he lived, oh my Lord, help mercy. That was another that was another experience as it was. But anyways, don't get me started. I can ramble on and on and on and on. Right. So let's bring a couple of cards for the collective and just see what spirit has to say. Now, this card, not every one of you guys are going to resonate with like these cards, of course. I never use cards when I have a reading with a client because I'm clairvoyant. A reading to your level of consciousness to see where you're at, what my insights are, and so on. However, I'm pulling cards here because it's collective on YouTube. So some of you might resonate with these cards, some of you will not. So I have pulled, some decks that I was drawn to. Yes, I have my card decks unpacked, right? Yay! Gotta get my priorities together. So and then I get pulled to what spirit calls me towards. So, I'm getting pulled to this deck here. Make sure you clear the deck. One of the decks I have here is the Enchanted Map. Paulette Baron Reed. For those of you, there's a cover. Maps, GPS of the soul, where you're guided towards, right? So let's ask the universe, what is the cosmic message from the 15th of November to the 22nd? Let me know if you guys resonate with these cards. Wow. As I'm talking, cards fly out. The Bone Collector. I'll show you the card in a minute. Now, it shows this kind of sacred Tibetan-looking man. And it shows the little rabbit beside him. Rabbits can represent fertility and also fears. It's showing that he's right in the middle of the desert, meditating, facing his fears, but yet looking very peaceful at the same time. Because if you look at the sunset, he's up early meditating. He's got the rabbit beside him. He's facing his fears very calmly. He's got the wheel of fortune beside him. The clock is ticking. He's creating his own destiny. He's living his life authentically. So what a beautiful, beautiful deck this is. And he's sitting like right in the middle of his own energy, kind of looks like a medicine wheel. Like meditating, you can see the power above him and where he's at and such like that. I meditate every day. Like every day I reflect on my day. What am I grateful for? What happened? How did it go? What fears, let's say, did I face? What did I get accomplished? What happened? All of those things. It's really important to do that because you can't run from situations, because when you start to run from situations, what happens? It follows you. It follows you. You can go on vacation. However, if you're not dealing with those situations, it's going to be right there and you come back. So it's important to do that. So I'm going to pull a card here from the crystals, like especially with this full moon, it's a really great time to really rejuvenate those crystals. You can put it like outside for the moon energy to come on, like on a window ledge or a window that's open so that moon energy can come in. So the card deck I'm going to use is Daily Crystal Inspiration by Heather Askinois. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. No, I love my crystals. I've got my aqua ore on today as well. I have a busy day and so on. Aqua ore is about communication, creativity, and such. So what is the message from the crystals, the 15th to the 22nd? Right away. Oh, this is kind of cool. Bloodstone. Get up, get moving. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What is this week about? Grounding yourself into your authentic power, prioritizing things, making adjustments. Look at what's important, especially on the 18th and 19th. Get moving, get things up, get things going. Is it a new project? Is it a new beginning? Like, what is a priority that you need to do? Really pay attention, you guys. Really pay attention. You know, the longer we leave certain things, it will come back really like, you know, maybe during that full moon on the unexpected energy, like full moon energy, you can feel it a couple of days before and a couple of days after. Oh, here's one of my bruises. Right? Look at that. Like, anyways, right? But it will happen. So it's really important to embrace this right now. Really, really embrace it right now. With this Pluto energy, it's shaking things up. Shake and bake. Shake and bake. All right, so let's talk to the animals now. I'm an animal communicator as well, for those of you guys who know. Diana Cooper, Archangel Animal Oracle deck I'm going to use here. So, my place actually has a fenced-in private yard. This is why I wanted this place, so I can literally open up my balcony doors. And my new animal, my new dog next year, sometime next year, has his own fenced-in yard. Privacy. How beautiful. That's what I wanted. I manifested this place exactly what I wanted. And divine timing opened it up for me, and so on and so on. So this is why you will even see this week how divine timing worked itself out with more understanding and clarity. So let's ask the animal world, animal kingdom, the 15th or the 22nd. What's the message? Turtle energy. Be joyful and trusting. Archangel Jules. Look at the turtle. What does the turtle do? Turtles are really slow. And as I've mentioned, you're going to find that with Mercury retrograde wants you to slow down. Slow down, especially between the 20th and the 22nd, as I mentioned earlier, to slow down, review everything. You're going to really see who tried to take your power away from you. So-called leaders, you know, could be family, your person, friends, like whoever, right? Slow down and really reflect. Go with the flow more. Really go with the flow. How slow are turtles? I mean, I love turtle energy. I have a beautiful statue of a turtle made out of coconut shell. It's actually really, really big. I bought that in Hawaii many years ago. I haven't unpacked him yet, but I will eventually get to him. Maybe I will get to him and find him on the day when we're supposed to slow down, right? Wouldn't that be cool? So it's a time to slow down, you guys. Go with the rhythm of the water, the ocean water, the lake water. Water represents our emotions to see where we're at, and so on and so on. So let me pull, what deck am I drawn to, you guys? Okay, so I'm drawn to this. Ancestral Spirit Oracle cards by Jade Sky. There we go. What is the message from the 15th to the 22nd? Message from the spirit world, the 15th to the 22nd. You know, and you're really going to find that you're going to be balancing things more this week with finances, healing. You're going to find that you're going to be connected more with people more authentically, more deeply. You're going to be deepening certain connections even more so. You know, you've been walking away from people and situations that you just don't resonate and connect with anymore as well. You're going to be around more people who support you in a positive way. You've been doing that, you know, like throughout this year, because this universal 8-year is representing you. So what is the message from our spirit world? Psychic strength, shield, talisman, and gold light. So you are going to be more intuitive this week as well. You know how I said that you're going to be listening more to your inner guru, your your GPS, your soul speaking, and so on, because you're going to be honoring your soul's authentic power. You're going to be listening to your inner guidance more. You're going to be seeing things with more clarity. You're going to be trusting the divine within to make certain decisions. Your intuition is really, really important. That's what guides you, what feels right, what doesn't feel right, and so on and so on and so on. Really pay attention to that. If you're overly emotional, your emotions are high, you won't see clarity. But when you take time out for you, maybe you'll get more insights on between the 20th and the 22nd as you slow down. So really pay attention to that, you guys. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, soulworkwithjeni.com, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Please like my video. It helps build the content and so on. Join me on Instagram, Jeni Ji Cousins. I'll follow you right back. And tune in for a live reading right here, live on YouTube on the 29th of November, 12 noon Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern or 11 a.m. Pacific. There's more things that are going to be coming on the channel, only if you subscribe. Namaste.